Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Wednesday, the 24th of September, 2025. Starting off, as always, with the synoptic picture. Midnight last night, begin with this high pressure here, very much the dominant feature over the UK, bringing us very pleasant weather yesterday and hopefully continuing today and later into the week. See, by midday today, no real change to what we'll be seeing overhead, although there are some occlusions out to the west of us associated with that low between Greenland and Iceland. We'll see how that affects us later into the week, looking into Thursday. That high pressure very much holding off all of the frontal activity there with the lows. And certainly should be continuing this run of good weather until probably later on this weekend. Sat pic then for this one, you can see quite a bit of cloud in places to the southeast over the channel and out to the west, but clear locally where we are at the moment, and it seems to be quite thin, so we can anticipate that burning off fairly quickly. Rain radar, thin upper clouds, so no precipitation associated with that. The occasional shower out to the east, but that should be tracking away from us. Nothing particularly over the channel that would be of a concern. And if we run the Met Office prediction through, you can see that there's a very occasional thin shower, but nothing coming our way, and certainly nothing that would cause us any issues. The Odium TAF giving us variable winds at 4 knots, 600-meter visibility of fog. Becoming later in this to the morning, visibility greater than 10 with no significant weather. Few at 2,000 feet, and a prob 30 of late morning scattered at 2,200, and that will most likely be cumulus. Farnborough, on the other hand, they have got 360, 4 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers, few at 4,500 feet, and mid-morning 9,000 meter visibility, becoming 060, 10 knot winds at late morning. Spot winds to the south, got northeasterly, 040 and 050 at 20 knots, and to the north of us, it's a little bit more easterly, 070 and 080. Slightly lighter as well at around 10. On the ground, you can see, looking at windy here, a fairly moderate northeasterly flow, initially northeasterly flow, becoming more easterly throughout the day across the airfield there. So with that in mind, we'll be operating runway 09 today and just paying close attention to the curl over from the trees on the north side there. The local Met Office forecast showing us a mean wind speed of around 10 knots northeasterly throughout today and into the afternoon, with gusts potentially up to the low 20s when we get peak mixing. GFS temperature-wise showing 16 or 17 degrees in the warmest part of the day with a dew point of 8. See the webcam here on the south side, it's looking west towards 2XL. Blue overhead Lasham, and that sort of wedge of the thin upper cloud that we saw on the sat pic out to the west, evident there. Light northeasterly breeze shown on the windsock there, and on to our local temperature. We're now reaching 8.6. We're starting to climb now, and we should hopefully get temperature fairly quickly. We've got no top cover, so we are getting as much heating as is possible. Sky sight now, potential flight distance in the left-hand side of the screen here. Not a great deal to write home about, really, particularly directly to the north of us, but the conditions look fairly reasonable in places, so I do think there is a day to be had. On the right-hand side here is the point forecast and showing soarable from late morning here at Lasham with cumulus from about 11:30, 12 o'clock. Soarable up to around 4, even 4,500 feet above the airfield, with some thermal top winds and northeasterly about 20 knots. The cloud distribution now on top meteo And it's again showing that watch of sort of thinner cloud out to the west. We run that through our bio, we can see that's burning off almost entirely by past 10, 11 o'clock this morning, and cumulus starting to fill in from the east. And we should have plenty of cumulus locally to the south and north from late morning to around midday, and that will continue until around about 5 o'clock this evening, and it begins to blue out. No times, very little to affect us to the north, as is normally the case. 29 is West Ilsley. We'll be winch launching paragliders to 1,900 feet. We'll move now to the local part of the briefing. Discussing glider bookings, we have two K21s today on the 5-day courses, two K21s and a K13 on booked flying, and a K13 on the casual list. There is fairly limited single-seater availability today, and at the last point of checking, we had 5 on the casual list with 1 instructor. And the simulator is, of course, available as normal, and we have nothing to report today from 2XL. So in summary, high pressure remaining across the UK with reasonable soaring conditions and cumulus throughout the day. We have a northeasterly flow across the airfield with moderate gusts. And a reminder, please do be aware of the curl over from the trees on the north side if you're air towing or landing on the north side grass. The runway 09 today is with cables on the grass to the south. And a reminder, we're looking to be quite busy today, so instructors, please do not brief at the front of the queue. I cannot stress that enough. As always, do not land or taxi across the disused runway as shown in red. And there's our airfield setup to finish with a requirement for a grid in the top corner there. Winching from the south of the mid-runway, air towing, club air towing on the hard. And there's our northeasterly breeze. That's all from me today. We'll see you out there very shortly. Let's have a good day and keep it safe. Thank you very much.